going into freshman year of college. And I was like, he's going, if I relocate now, he's going to end up dropping out of school. You bet. Yeah. Yeah. That's why you do it. Yeah. That's why you do it yourself.
Meanwhile, I'm sorry.
So you can
As I'm trying to garden and my dad's
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's sad. It's not a beautiful Saturday.
It's a little Parkinson's, yeah. Love the job.
Did you do something different?
Yeah, communication.
Nobody else is more laid back.
We were in Brockton.
Less stressful?
It's by far less.
Yeah, we gave up.
There you go.
Yeah, not major.
I was walking up and down.
And that's
That's
the
never. Really good. You're trying to everybody you can, yeah. I thought you were weird. It's kind of sad. I saw pictures of the last hurrah. Expressions was fun. Yeah. Oh yeah, we saw your people. My people? Yeah, we did. We talked to them. I'm pretty proud of those. Yeah. Yes.
They do a good job.
We don't mind that.
She was so excited that she got camera duty. She's so pumped.
Oh.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm okay.
I have a story. I'm waiting on Susan to approve an article for the Women program.
That's what I was going to ask about.
Yeah. 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 We also got 2 new grants. We just got notice of them. So.
You know where?
Yeah. I'm just waiting on Susan to approve the article because the RP program, there's an announcement of the program continuing at a lesser pace with opportunity donations.
I think the only thing that she probably was the one where she picked it up like
It's only a Democrat ran it.
I Whatever.
It's not really,
I want more words than that, so I don't rude. Let's see if I read anything else. My feelings. No, that's true. We're very fragile here. It takes a lot to put this together. You can't take that away from me. Don't ruin me like that.
No, I would say, isn't that an indication that they have less scruples, right?
Everyone has less people.
Right? Exactly, right? Like, that actually is a compliment. That you're like, I stick with the ethics.
Oh, I was. That's the argument I should have started with. Instead of the whole excuse me.
I was too ethical to run.
Yes, I am. That's exactly what it is. My morals are so high that I was just like, oh, I can't do that.
Yeah. And then I've got a meeting with our developmental disability side, Kathy Smith, next week to get some details on the new grants. There'll be a new pre-program. One of the grants went from 80,000 to 250,000.
Wow, it's actually matching with it.
Oh, it's significantly more than which is good.
Yeah.
Did you guys figure out what kind of to do? Or are you still working on it?
No, he's been in and out.
What is
I was just thinking, we
Yeah,
Still got some time.
that's the program that helps the schools out for my kids.
So probably.
But we definitely just needed to reach out to the kids.
Yeah.
So I just.
I know you're trying to figure out what type of
Yeah.
permit we're gonna
Let's
get.
find out. They all have a. But if we. I think
True.
it's gonna be. Yeah.
But that's why they want right there.
Right, because everyone wants to stay and have an opinion. It's no
Yeah.
big deal. Okay, good.
They made us combine the two, but
Have you done Maya yet, or new business name?
That's why I keep your name on the stuff thing, right?
Yeah, that's very
You
insightful.
get your email.
Yeah, no,
On occasion, on
I stand by what I say.
I know.
I look at it
We had
like,
this right to me.
it's beautiful because
just forward them for a while.
it's a push my belief
Although
system out
sometimes
into the world. Like, it's a beautiful.
What have I made it like halfway?
Because so many logins are based
Before
off
I
emails.
get to,
We did that when we changed ours. It was good for a while, then all of a sudden it just ended, just all of a sudden like,
Just so you can
based off
feel like you're accomplished. Like, this is-
Oh my goodness, I mean, everyone came on my bill, we got
everybody wants to do it, and then it's like, well, you want to you send some roll email, and then they send you kickbacks, and after a while, they just turn it off because
It's kind of where I'm at. That's why I'm going to go into Hope then, right? Because I'm like in that, I'm in that, yes, no, I get home.
I literally have like a great manager, and they want for me to manage one, keep sending her, like they interview.
Well, I don't
doesn't even matter
I
what
just have
one
to
is,
break it
like,
myself.
I'm
Yeah.
saying.
That's not the problem.
Like,
I have some, I have to like, today I have to go back and.
I think they've had this
some, instructions and always.
And then they had us combined, they should help with the child now, I think. I thought it already was.
It is. I mean,
So I don't know what happened, it used to be. Now, we have two that don't have to help our former highways, but the big one is I have two. One is when there's a child for highways, they apply for grants and stuff, sometimes they want.
She had to write the correct one down for me. I was like, well, alright.
I think you kind of use yours for about everything other than take loss.
well, I bet Lisa would tell you what she's interested in.
I know, I'm like,
There's
you
a
don't
drop,
see
there's
me.
a drop down.
Can I have that?
Because when we apply for stuff, we gotta use our physical. And one of those are based off your physical addresses, you use one of that.
I'd like to call the June meeting of the Enter County Board to order. You all please rise and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to welcome everybody here today. Would you please call the roll, Mr. Clerk?
Bruner.
Here.
Ellis. Farnham.
Here.
Lawton. McCarty. Patrick.
Here.
And Boyd.
Present. Next, we have the minutes to approve and accept for May 13th, regular meeting of the county board. You've had those for a few days. Is there any comments or corrections to be made? Hearing none, need a motion to approve. Russ moves. Andy seconds. Any further discussion? All those in favor of approving and accepting those minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. They are approved. Next, claims against the county. We likewise have those for a couple of days. Are there any questions or clarifications needed on those claims? Hearing none, I'd accept a motion to approve those claims. Andy moves, Russ seconds. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. They are approved. County board claims, you've had those likewise for a couple of days. Are there any additions or questions or clarifications needed? Hearing none, need an approval. Russ moves, Dan seconds. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. They are approved. Next, we come to the portion of the meeting where we ask for public comment. If you have a comment to make to the board, we ask that you identify yourself and restrict your comments to 5 minutes. Are there any comments this morning from the folks visiting? Yes, sir.
Tim Hansel, just circling back on what was discussed Monday evening. The committee, or whatever we're calling it, is going to work through, hash out the 911 joint dispatch. When I went home thinking about it, moving forward with the oncoming board, no one is going to be present at these decisions, starting out anyway. That's going to be on the report coming in December. So I guess I'm asking, and I understand most of us don't have experience. One, the oncoming members does have a lot of experience with this, that being Chris. And so I'm asking that he be a part of those meetings just for input as well as continuity moving forward with the future board.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I'm Scott Myers, District 6. In reference to what Tim was talking about, I also am uncomfortable with the meetings that we're getting ready to have because they won't be sanctioned meetings or open meetings to the public. I understand the fact that we've had open meetings in the past that have been fruitless or have not happened. We haven't had yet one open meeting that has been done by the county board, because the first one was canceled that we set because it didn't get put in the paper and it didn't get put on the website. And then second joint dispatch discussion we had the other day when all of you said, we're gonna create the smaller group of 6 to decide all this. And I don't believe that we're opening it up enough to enough public comment to get views that are going to be productive. I think you have to have people who are in opposition to your view and hear what they have to say and allow them to speak. If you do not do that, then they won't be bought in and someone will try and make it fail. That's just my opinion. And I also concur with him, I think Chris should be on there. That's it.
I would have one comment to both of you. The decisions are not going to be made. The framework is going to be created to bring to the other boards for their approval. Decisions are not going to be made. Actually, it's just a construction of how it might work and what would be recommended as the best way forward. Decisions like in stone are not going to be made. Okay?
I understand.
Carl, do you have anything to say?
We've had a lot of meetings, we've had a lot of input. I guess the reason I come up with the idea to have the meeting the way we're going to do it is to get the people that need to be involved to the table. We haven't had them at the table. This is one way to get them to the table, at least talk and see if where it could end up, and then we'll go from there. It's just to get somebody talking.
I understand, and I agree that we need to get people talking. I mean,
We're not doing it to hide anything,
No,
but
no.
this is the only way we can get the people that need to be involved to start talking.
Well, I think you're ignoring an extensive amount of talent
Well,
that you could include.
well, we've heard all those people's opinions.
You haven't heard their ideas. You haven't heard their structure.
Not
Not
totally,
in a
but,
meeting. I've been to those meetings, Carl, and I've listened to what people have said.
you know,
They have not been allowed to bring their ideas and their design to the table yet. And I'm talking about people like Troy Eads. Troy Eads is a,
I've talked to Troy several times.
yeah, I know, but not in a meeting. Personally, you probably have. I have too,
Yeah.
but not in a meeting. That's been a public meeting that's been.
Well, when I talked to him for a half hour on the phone the other day, he said a lot of things that he would never say at a meeting to get his true feelings.
Okay, guys, I just,
So that's,
I'm not
that's where
arguing. I don't
that's
mean to
what
make
we
an argument.
decided to do, to at least get people talking.
Okay.
are there any other comments? And I do appreciate both of your comments.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I'm ready to say, but I don't speak well off the cuff. So,
You're fine. What's your name, sir?
Good morning. My name is Jerry Woodfall with IBEW Local 725.
Yes, sir.
And I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today. I'm here to advocate for the use of the tri-trade agreement on all commercial and industrial solar projects constructed here in Edgar County. This is about ensuring fairness, protecting our local workers, keeping economic benefits right here in our community. At its core, it comes down to truth filling wage, not just a rate on paper, but a system that ensures workers are paid properly, projects are built to standard, and the economic benefit of these projects is shared with the people who live and work here. When a project is built under the Tri-Trades Agreement, the workforce is primarily local. These are skilled workers who live in our communities, who support our local businesses, and who contribute directly to our tax base. Without this structure in place, developers are free to bring a transient workforce, often from out of state, even out of the country. We've seen this happen time and time again, Coles County, Vermilion County, and currently it's what's going on in Sullivan County, Indiana with that tax. The NextAmp project, which is the one that's gonna be doing this, open meeting, NextAmp did a project in Mattoon, 90% of its workforce was from Texas. That means the wages earned on those projects largely left the region instead of staying here in East Central Illinois. This isn't about jobs, it's about where the economic impact lands. If Edgar County is gonna host these projects, if our land is, and infrastructure is going to support them, if our communities are going to live alongside them, then our residents should share the opportunity and wages earned on these projects. Right now, timing matters. Tuesday the 16th, NextAmp is holding an open meeting that begins the process for a solar project in Grandview. Decisions made in the early stages of these projects shape everything that follows. Once a project is permitted and underway, it becomes much harder to influence how it's built, who builds it, and who benefits from it. I also want to acknowledge something important. As you know, the state of Illinois is increasingly driving the expansion of renewable energy. In many cases, counties have limited authority to stop the developments altogether. That makes your role more important today. If the state is going to push these projects forward, the board still has the ability, and I would argue the responsibility, to ensure that they are done in a way that benefits Edgar County. The Tri-Trades Agreement is one of the most effective tools you have to do this. It allows you to set a clear expectation about wages, about workforce standards, and about where that labor comes from. It is a way to take some control back and ensure that these projects are not just built in our county, but built for our county by local residents. If we want a local workforce, if we want our tax revenue to stay and our wages to stay local, we want these projects to strengthen rather than bypass our communities, so we need to act now before permits are issued, before contracts are finalized, and before those opportunities are lost. I respectfully urge this board to require the use of Tri-Trades Agreement on these commercial and industrial solar projects moving forward. I also urge that if it's too late to get it in the ordinance prior to that, I urge that you make this NextAmp project a condition that they use the Tri-Trades, not advise or urge or hope, strong wording that they have to use the Tri-Trades, otherwise you're gonna see a bunch of trucks from Texas doing that project. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments this morning, please? Hearing none, we'll move along to a highway resolution. My glasses on. Resolution of support for truck access route program, TARP application for a portion of the Lower Terre Haute Road, CH4. We discussed that on Monday morning. Are there any further discussion on that particular resolution? Do you have anything to add, Mr. Engineer?
If there's any questions, I've got answers.
I'd entertain a motion to approve that resolution. Andy moves. Is there a second? Russ seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Clerk, would you call the roll?
Brunner,
Yes.
Ellis,
Yes.
Farnum,
Yes.
Lawton,
Yes.
and Patrick.
Yes.
Next, we come to the acceptance of the Neal EMS bid for Special District Number 2 for the ambulance service. Is there any discussion? We've already had the bids opened and we talked about it on Monday morning. Are there any further questions or clarifications needed? Hearing none, I'd accept a motion to approve that bid from the board. Lisa moves and Russ seconds. Mr. Clerk, would you call the roll?
Brunner,
Yes.
Ellis,
Yes.
Farnum,
Yes.
Lawton,
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
The bid is accepted. Thank you, Jeremy. All right, next we come to department head reports. Mr. Clerk?
Yeah, to follow up on the question from Monday night. So the last day for a candidate to run as a write-in is September the 3rd. So they have to file what's called a declaration of intent to be a write-in candidate. September 3rd, the last day to file that. And again, just to remind you all that the names, their names don't go on the ballot. So, but the election judges, they know who it is. So, and they can ask the judge who is going to be the write-in candidate on the ballot, but their names do not appear there. So,
Question,
yeah.
how many, do they have to have so many signatures on a petition?
Well, if they were to win that, then they have to file statement of candidacy and then the loyalty oath, signatures. There is a requirement, and it's based off of formula, so it's not any more than what any of the county people would have to get. Whereas an independent would have to get 400 signatures, but that door's already closed. The only other thing, as I mentioned, my office now has the taxes, and so we're inputting those, and we're just verifying, getting ready to send out our first official approval form back to the taxing body, just to verify that we have the correct information that they gave us. And so there's a series of steps that are involved in that. So we're looking at minimum a couple of weeks before we get done. Maybe sooner, maybe a little longer, but that's what our goal is.
Any questions of Augie?
And then it goes to Don,
Yes, and then.
and then how long is his process?
Well, what's he take?
2 weeks.
Week, 2 weeks, 2 weeks? Yeah, and then he looks things over and they print it all up.
And then it's up to the post office. Okay. Thank you, Augie. Do you have anything from Highway? Okay. Sorry. Oh, Dina, do you have anything?
Just to add to what Augie said, we finally closed out. We have 176 appeals. 64 of those went to hearings, so it took us several weeks to go through those. We allowed each person 15 minutes to speak, so it took some time. I went to an area meeting on Monday. The problems that we are having are across the state. There was probably 12, 14 counties there now expressed the same problems with anger, threats. So I think the number one problem is education. One of the counties offered that they do town hall property tax education. That makes me nervous a little bit, but I'm open to that. I've reached out to civic groups that need speakers to see if we could come and just, again, educate why we do the things we do and how it works. So we're looking at that. Ross is also busy working on the website. This past month, we had 16 hits on our new FAQ. Of the hits the county website receives, the number one hit is our property record cards, and number two is the assessor tab. After that, it was the animal shelter. So we know what people are looking for, why they're using the website, and we're trying very hard to maintain that as well. So again, I'm just working on educating public.
Any questions of Dina? Taylor, I didn't see you there. Scotty's blocking it entirely.
Anything?
Nothing?
No,
How's the little one?
getting big.
Yes, she is. Tom?
You have something to say?
Oh, I'm sorry, Jill.
We completed reunification
Oh, I'm
training
sorry.
with 95 and
district or Chrisman schools on last Wednesday. And to follow back with the department head meeting, I reached out to Katie and JR, and we're in the process of moving forward with the cybersecurity training that they offer.
Okay.
That's it.
Tom?
I made copies of the article about the airport. That was in the Champaign News Gazette over the weekend for those of you that asked for them, so we're real happy about that. That's all.
I have a question. I like stats. So how many, just for public knowledge, how many airplanes are being housed at the airport?
16, we're full.
And how many of those are not local? Because one of those was mentioned in here from Danville, Indiana, which was a surprise.
That's our farthest tenant, yes. Local would be Edgar only or surrounding Edgar.
Edgar only.
About half. We have some Douglas County tenants. We have several across the state line, the Clinton area.
Thanks.
We're also looking at, Tom, about painting a building.
Our west T hangar needs painted on the roof, so we do have an estimate we're discussing.
Russ and I'll be talking to Tom here directly and looking at that, so we'll make you aware of that. Philip, do you have anything for us?
No, sir.
Okay. Jeremy? Okay. Jesse?
I do not.
We have a new person visiting us this morning. She was at the staff meeting Monday morning. And Kim has her new assistant administrator with her. Miss Abby, how are you?
Good, how are you?
So do you folks have anything for us this morning?
We're busy with summer programs, so check us out on our website and Facebook for that. And we have some new staff coming in. So Janet Mason will be retiring, I think, June 18th. And then Abby will be stepping up. And our new business manager, Amaya, has started. She's doing really well, and things are going pretty smooth transition, I hope. So.
Any questions?
Since Ebola is increasing, is there a vaccination for that, Ebola?
They're still not for us. I don't think so. They're discussing it in the hot spots and the areas. They're rushing rapidly to try to develop, and I've listened to, you know, the mRNA technology they're working on, like they did for COVID in the areas affected. That's all I've heard. That, and typically in the previous Ebola, we have world-class facilities here. So the last Ebola, how it's different is they did house the Americans. They would normally bring them home, but this time the decision was made to, if there are any Americans, to not bring them home, to send them to Kenya, I believe. So, yeah, but we're getting daily updates, weekly updates. Last time I came on, Public Health, 14 years ago during Ebola, here we are again. It was H1N1, back then the bird flu as well, and it's kind of come full circle, and hopefully like last time, we're just on a world alert, watching it from the TV.
Any questions? Okay, thank you. Hi, Jonathan, how are you doing?
Good. Good. I've got 4 updates here. Print out for you. The biggest news I have is HRC's Living Room Program grant was not renewed. That's state marijuana tax money. Got a call from Chapin Rose last night about it. He indicated that from what he gathered from Department of Human Services, we were the next grant down on the list. Mind you, they can't even tell him that, but that was what he was deciphering from their tone of voice and responses. And that we just didn't get the funding because of people getting above us. Notably, there's 4 grants currently posted with the state of Illinois for Decatur, East St. Louis, and Rockford. So apparently they still have plenty of money for more populated areas, not rural Illinois, which is what really bothers me about all this. These are exactly the exact same grant program that we're offering, that we're successfully offering, that they've cut in order to provide that money to the cities. We also are the only, we're the first 24/7 living room program in the state. And I do know from talking to Lifelinks and Matt Toon that they also applied for the living room program and did not get one. So I have yet to find out where the closest living room that's actually being funded by the marijuana money is. At this point, there doesn't appear to be one in the region. That was about $940,000 a year in funding and about 16 jobs. HRC has provided some layoff notices as a result of the loss of that grant, but we're working on trying to move people into other positions that we still have openings at. With that, First Farmers Bank did donate $5,000 to help continue that, and we're going to take the program, and our immediate plan is to reduce the hours down to when we see 85% of the mental health crisis. We see 85% of their customers between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. at night, Monday through Friday. Our walk-in mental health crisis happened during that time frame. We see a lot of showers during the overnights. But other than that, that's about the only need we're seeing in the overnight. So we're going to reduce the hours, we'll cut the budget down to about $260,000 a year, and we're going to continue it for 3 months. We're going to bill what we can. The state wouldn't allow us to bill anything before because it was all grant funded and that would be double dipping. So we're going to bill what we can, and we're going to see if we can turn this into an actual sustainable program at about $260,000 a year budget ongoing. We're also working with the hospital for funding on that, and it helps support our crisis services that we do in the hospital, so that'll help carry some of the cost. But we will be reducing staff still and reducing hours and things. The grant forced us to do a lot of things that were very expensive to meet the grant requirements that weren't necessarily impacting consumer care. So we were able to reduce a lot of the costs because of cutting out the nonsense required by the feds to have the grant money. So that's how we were able to get from 900 down to 200 and something. That being said, we have a major obstacle ahead with making sure that that's a sustainable program so that we can be there when people walk in. I told you guys about the guy who lost his 11-year-old daughter in a car accident, walked into the LRT and got help. We want to be there for those people, I also wanted to mention HRC is going to host an Edgar County summer camp for kids. Kids that were involved in our school program for mental health. We started a summer program. We did it last year as a pilot. We're going to do it again this year at Lake Ridge. And we are seeking some donations for that, for the supplies and things. It'll help, how many kids? It'll help 50 kids is what we're projecting from Kansas and Paris combined, and those will all come to Lake Ridge. And then we got 2 new grants. We have 1 grant ending, we have another grant starting. Voucher respite, HRC just got a huge grant, it's $505,000 for voucher respite. So we'll start a new program which will allow us to essentially act like EIU does for daycare supplement payments, except for people who have, individuals who have disabilities. So we'll become a financial agent basically to pass money to families throughout our region that say have a child with Down syndrome and that child needs somebody to come watch them while mom goes on vacation or takes a break or goes shopping or does something. Then we will actually be able to be that middleman and pass that money from the state to our community. So that's a new program. We're actually bringing it back. We had it about 15 years ago, but thanks to this grant, we're bringing it back. And then our group respite program, which we do the Schools Out program, if you guys are aware of that, it's like kids that are 13 or older who have developmental disabilities in our region can get basically a daycare type service from HRC for free through the group respite program. So if you know somebody, a lot of times if you're like 13, you say you have Downs, you may not be safe at home at 13 years old alone, but you can't be at the daycare anymore because they have a cutoff age at a lot of daycares. So this helps address that need. We bring the people into the program for this. And it's also the onboarding. So basically, anyone who has developmental disabilities that needs our services comes in. We usually enroll them in this program, and then we use this funding to be able to supply the supports they need to get everything else they need and to get into the proper service and so on. So it's really a really big deal that it increased from $80,000 to $240,000. There's a couple other little updates that you can check out at the bottom of the page, but I wanted to hit on those big grant things and provide a verbal for those. Any questions?
Could you give us any figures on that, the living room program, how many people are involved in that?
You mean participants?
Yeah.
I just looked at it before I came up here. It was 800 and I want to say 40 some. It was 800 and some per year. It was 1,000 some a year. It depends on when the window is looking at it. So between 800 and 1,100.
Is that visits or people?
Those are visits. People was the 800. Yeah.
Okay.
So
800 different people?
yes. Per year. So that includes a lot of people that go to the ER and get discharged and then go over to the LRP. It included 6 very specific cases that would have went to hospitalization, been locked up against their will, had they not had the LRP to go to from the ER. And notably, I know it may sound like, oh, they didn't get the help they need. They did get the help they need. They would have been locked up against their will and traumatized, and their problems would have gotten worse because if it's not the right fix, providing extreme care when only a little bit of care is needed is not the right match, and you can end up doing more damage than good.
Sad note, Jonathan.
It's really disturbing. I really love to inquire with the board if there's any path to an LRP funding through like the marijuana funds or something like that, through allowing a dispensary. I'd love to talk to you about the details on how that would impact our community.
Thank you. Wyatt, I'm sorry to forget about you. I just was thinking.
Last but not least, I don't have anything to report. I'm here to answer any questions you guys have. Anything that comes up, let me know. Shameless plug, we are looking for an ag in the classroom coordinator, so you know of anybody, we're willing to take them on and give them an interview. So.
Are you aware of the public hearing next week?
I am.
Solar?
I am.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Part-time or full-time?
Josh, do we have any, are we clear on GATA now?
Well, it's submitted, it's in review. Yes, everything is what they requested has been submitted.
The GATA is,
Grant, the grant.
yeah, it has to be right or we don't get grants flowing in. So yes, the audit has to be turned in.
It's a slow process. I mean, they're still doing 24 and 25, 23, 24, 25 actually. So.
We're doing well, so just thought I'd check. Did I miss anybody? Okay. Meeting reports? Russ, do you have anything?
No, just wanted to thank Samantha and Andy for getting the bungees hung up on the courthouse. It looked great. Hope to see the banners up.
We had a banner around here, didn't we?
Yeah.
That were,
I thought it was an unveiling. Yeah, great.
Those
are the light pole banners that are gonna go up.
The city is going to,
You see it? Oh, you wanna hold on to it, get it up?
I think, Dan, do you have anything, sir? Andy?
Nothing in addition to my day.
Okay, Lisa?
Yes, a couple of things. One, following up on the celebration, the planning committee, which we certainly invite anyone to attend, those planning committee meetings, we had our second one yesterday evening, and it's just a very loose structure of individuals and organizations, and at this point, they're all Paris focused, to just make sure that there's a celebration. And the different groups do have plans throughout the year, so it's not just the 4th of July, although the goal is to get a lot of decorating up by the 4th of July. And we are gonna meet every Monday evening for the rest of June. And probably the next thing we're gonna do is get some feet on the ground, and people are gonna visit the businesses, especially those on the highways, to see if we can't encourage everyone to do their own decorating. And when school starts up, hopefully there will be some school activities that will go along with the celebration, but we're getting started late enough that that's not our focus now. I went to Hume Monday night, spoke with them, plan to go to Brockton Friday night, Chrisman next week. I need the Metcalf Mayor Chad Dudley's phone number if anybody has that, because he's the only one that I don't have communication with.
Can I do it? He's Brockton.
Okay,
I can get you back there.
I have my.
all right, I might have my names mixed up. All right, so I do need Metcalf, whichever person that is. Then, talking about the meeting that is Tuesday, it's an open house that will be similar to the one that was it's for the general public, but more specifically for landowners and residents around the proposed commercial solar system going up northeast of Grandview, just south of Route 16. And so that is, as was stated, it's at the old Evelyn Gym from 1 to 3 this Friday, or next Tuesday. So anyone is welcome to attend. And that is part of what's required by the ordinance. They have to notify registered mail or some other tracked mechanism, all the landowners and residents within that area, and then also hold an open meeting. So this is the next step in that process. So I just encourage people to attend. And I believe that's all.
thank you, Lisa. Any questions of Lisa? Carl?
Did Troy mention to you about the building?
Thank you, I know I was missing something. Yes, so after the Hume meeting, we looked at the old Masonic Lodge, which it's one of those big old 3-story buildings that part of it's already fallen in. It is on the next property tax sale, is his understanding. I hadn't checked with you on that. But anyway, they are asking if we can do a deal similar to what we did with an old bank with them a few years ago, which is kind of to ensure that they are the ones that end up with that. And of course, it would be great if there was funding available to help them tear it down. But we talked about the challenges of that. You know, there are a lot of buildings in this county that need to be torn down, and in that case, it's in an incorporated village. But at the least, the building's got to be demolished. It is, because the roof has fallen in, the sides are dangerous.
when I was talking to him, he talked about it, and I told him to mention to you, but I told him that we could, states, I don't know what process is involved, but if the state's attorney could help us, if there's anything we could do to help facilitate it. State's attorneys walked out.
I'll send Phil an email.
Besides those questions, you don't have anything else? Is there anything else to come before the meeting this morning? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. Russ moves, Andy seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. We are adjourned.
The next day. Felt better.
That's kind of fun, just throwing random.
Now the ones that
Maybe we should do it at the end of the day, actually, to like, because.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
All right, I know you get electronic, there's the paper.
Thank you.
Yep. Jonathan, good to see you. Tim, good to see you.